Yo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever it is you're tuning in. It's another Sunday evening with the Orientation Podcast, and you're here with your favorite host, Boy Achibe. Yeah, tonight we are going to be talking about a topic that affects every Nigerian, whether you're a civil servant, a small business owner, or even someone who works from home like myself. You get someone who is into crypto, forex, and digital work. We are talking about something that has been put in place that will affect each and every one of us. We're going to be talking about taxes actually, as sorry for that, taxes. And as usual, I am here in the studio with my friend and sidekick Omereze. Omereze, what's up, man, bro? How you doing tonight? How do you feel about this topic, bro?
I'm good. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to OT Pods. Honestly, if anyone told me that in 2026 we'll be doing taxes, I would have said it's a lie. But here we are, and to make sense of it all, we have our guest. And I'll hand over the mic to you to introduce our guest more better in the way you know how to do.
Thank you for that, Omereze. Yes, if anyone had said that we'll be talking about tax this January, earlier last year, nobody was going to believe, because tax is more like something that has had little or no import to we people that work from home, and to some other people who are not direct civil servants. So with us here tonight in the studio is Obumneme, thank God, a commercial lawyer who works closely with individuals and businesses. He's very much inclined with corporate matters and practices here in Nigeria, Lagos to be precise. Is what you might want to call a Gen Z lawyer, with his ex buzzing with a couple of viral tweets of what I like to call his own views and takes on things. Once in a while, he also shares tips on how to get jobs and openings, so you can do well to check his ex account later. But I'm very, very happy to be joined with a man like Obumneme. So Omereze, how hyped are you to have Obum here with us today?
Yeah, I'm definitely hyped. The way I begged for this episode, I'm hyped. For real, this man we have here definitely has OT, and definitely we are going to be hitting the ground running, and we're not going to forget this episode quite easily. So Obum, let's start very simply. Alright, Obum, let's start quite simply. Before the 2026 reforms, what did taxes really mean for an average Nigerian like me, like the POS operator in my street, like the market woman using Money Point POS? What did tax mean for us? What did tax mean for civil servants who had an income that was visible to the government? And what is it going to become in this new era that we've entered? Alright, Obum, let's start quite simply. Before the 2026 reforms, what did taxes really mean for an average Nigerian like me, like the POS operator in my street, like the market woman using Money Point POS? What did tax mean for us? What did tax mean for civil servants who had an income that was visible to the government? And what is it going to become in this new era that we've entered?
Nigeria, I know that. Before 2026 or the old tax laws, how do I actually put it? An ordinary Nigerian doesn't care about what tax is, and I think that's like what this new tax regime is trying to fix and all. Apart from salary earners and maybe corporate workers and companies, average Nigeria really nothing really concerned am when it come to tax and all. Apart from what maybe bank just charge you for their service fee, which is the VAT 7.5 stuff and all. Nothing really. It's not like you are not supposed to pay your tax, but then the compliance was small. was low amongst Nigeria. Nobody, there was no enforcement. I was in Abakaliki, and but who really talks about tax? What tax was for people who are doing businesses in the market was basically maybe the state government or all this agbero on the road come to your shop and tell you, Alpha, you are supposed to pay 5,000 naira for your shop or something, or tax. They will call it board, something, just call it anything. And then maybe they will issue you one receipt. That was what tax was for a lot of people in the market, a lot of people that are doing informal businesses and all. So that's majorly the reason why the country said, the House of Assembly said, basically the National Assembly said, now we can't continue like this. We have to up our game when it comes to tax. We have to stop relying on a lot of paper filings and up it and come to digitalize our tax system and all that. So basically, nobody was thinking about tax. As long as you are not a corporate worker, corporate workers didn't need to do anything different. They were just doing the pay, whatever you pay as you earn. Once your salary is coming, your employers deduct it from your account. And also they've already, corporate workers, they are used to. If I was paying tax since last year, I started 9 to 5 officially last year. I know. So I was paying tax way before 2026. So what they do is that our salary is coming, they deduct it from our tax, what we are supposed to pay. And I'm in Lagos right now, so I'm practicing in Lagos. So they send it directly to LIRS office. That's Lagos Internal State Revenue. That's people, the agency that is responsible for tax collection in Lagos here. So that's just basically it. Apart from 9 to 5 corporate workers, salary earners, people who work for government, nobody really cares about what tax is in the country prior before 2026 and the new tax law. So that's all like I have to say about before now. So that's it. Well, to be honest, it was, should I say, to me personally, it was cool. I was like, so finally, I'm now a tax-paying citizen of the country. I'm not. So basically, if I want to call out the government, I can legally, I can rightfully add that, I am not paying tax. I'm a tax-paying citizen, so it is my right to demand for good governance and all that. So basically, when I saw it, because basically how, I don't know for any other state how Lagos state government does when it comes to tax. Once your employer debits it from, they are sending your salary, so they will send your salary to your account. They've already deducted the tax. So like that same week or something from my office, basically they send it to you. Already have a tax ID, obviously, so they pay it straight to with your tax ID to LIRS. So LIRS sends you an email saying so amount has been paid for your tax, whatever. This is your, you say something like that. So you'll be getting the email every month and all of that. So to me, the first time it felt cool. I was like, oh, so now I'm not a tax-paying citizen and all. It wasn't. I knew that was what every of my friends who is working was already doing. So it was even. I was curious. Me, you know me already now, so you know me. I like to put my mouth in a whole lot of political stuff. So now, if I want to make posts, I can rightfully say I am a tax-paying citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it is my right to demand. I'm no longer just a lawyer. I'm no longer just a citizen who is just existing somewhere. I am paying my tax to the government. So Basically, government has it's my right for government for me to say, why is this road bad? Why is it? Because one thing people don't know, I don't know whether I'm digressing from the question, but one thing people don't know is that tax is your obligation to pay. Is something you should do, whether you're a 9 to 5 or you're a business person or whatever. I know you are supposed to be paying your tax. And then once you pay your tax, what the government is supposed to be doing with the tax money is to provide basic amenities like roads, security, water, all those stuff. That is like the concept of tax. That is why tax is being paid. You are giving the government money so that they'll gather that money and use it to serve you back. So it's unfair for some people to be paying tax and some other people are not paying tax. So that was the whole reason because like you were asking what was tax before this period now and all. So that was why 2026 came. It came to like broaden the network of people who are paying tax because the government is aware that a lot of people don't pay tax apart from people who are in a structured employment. So that was why it came. So for me, like you said, like us, it was cool for me. I wasn't feeling it. People, in fact, a lot of things that was happening on Twitter about the whole misinformation stuff when it comes to tax and all that. I know people who are actual 9 to 5 hours, people who are earning not who their gross income is not up to 20 million. They were happy for the new tax law because it's going to reduce their tax. That is what people don't know. It's going to reduce their pay as you earn what they tax because people in my office, people that are my senior, they told me what they deduct from their salary when it comes to tax. I was like, Jesus Christ, you people are paying this amount of money as tax and stuff. So with the new tax law, it has even come to reduce, but people don't know that. Everybody wants to just say, Tinubu will collect 20% from your 1 million. Tinubu will collect this whole stuff. So it was cool for me because I was in a corporate environment, people who has been in the tax system, people who are actually paying the tax. I get to hear from them their view about the tax law, what they've been experiencing, and what is going to be like from 2026. And me just coming in, it was just basically few months for me coming into the corporate system and everything was I started experiencing it and I wasn't paying as much as they were, but even this new year, it was my tax. There was a lot of things to hold on to, and it will reduce the tax that I'm paying. So that's it for the question. It was cool. I wasn't It's something you should do because at some point, as a young boy who is growing, as a young guy who is growing, and me, if you know me, you know that I'm a very ambitious person. And at some point in the future, anything, probably even I think your tax filings and your and all is part of the requirements where that they will ask you once you start. Maybe let's say I'm applying for ACN now after 10 years of practice. That's if the new Legal Practitioners Act doesn't pass through. I know. So if I'm applying for sanship, I know evidence of you paying tax is part of what you are supposed to show before your whole application process is changed. So there's a lot of benefits for you as a citizen and for somebody who is aiming to grow beyond where he is right now. At some point, you have to be some things you want to do in the future. You have to actually be bringing evidence of you paying tax in the future and all that. So it was cool for me, honestly.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Omereze. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, you have talked in length about this, about how it felt. Me personally, like what you just said now, I actually feel happy that we get to get included in this whole um, being able to pay tax. As you said, it's a patriotic act to be able to pay tax. And yes, I am glad now that we who actually work from home actually get to now have a say, because we now pay taxes, because we're not taxed. So that said, let's head into what it means, what this new law that just started in 2026, what it means, the effect it has on individuals. Let's say people who work from home like us now, people who work from home, people who trade crypto, people who basically don't have, let's say, a centralized system of work where that the government is privy to. You get, because most of us who trade crypto, the government doesn't even know how the money goes in and comes out. So basically, can you like break it down, what this means for us, what the new tax law means for us?
Um, the truth is, like I told the co-host earlier today, that you people looked for what to give me to speak on it, and this tax is basically. I'm not an expert when it comes to tax. That is just the truth of the matter. Tax is a very complex thing anywhere in the world. There are people that I look up to who have come out to say, I'm not an expert. That is why I keep quiet on certain things and all that. But because tax has been a lot of, it has been in people's mouths in the past 5 months. I know. So, but I'll just try to answer your question. When it comes to the new tax law and freelancers, content creators, crypto, digital assets traders, and all that, the truth is the tax, the new tax act actually brings in everybody. As long as you are working from home, as long as you are doing whatever it is that you are doing, first things first, you have to have a tax ID. And they've made it very easy. You can just there is a site that the JRS, I think JRS has brought out. Once you put your NIN, it automatically generates your tax ID. But now, how do you file your tax? Okay, first of all, I think what every person should do, because it's still a self-assessment stuff, it's still a self-assessment process. What every person should do is that you should you should keep track of your earnings. And not because that we are in January 2026 does not mean that it's only mostly people who PAYE, pay as that's corporate workers, that their tax are mostly deducted by monthly basis. I know, but for every other person, almost every other person, I know, you have to you file your tax assessment and the tax return on a yearly basis. Like now, when you pay your tax as an individual, it's like the deadline for you to pay your tax for this year as an individual who is doing whatever you are doing, digital asset, content creation, freelancer, whatever, is 31st of March next year. So do you get it now? Like, it's not like you have to be paying like people who are doing 9 to 5. And no, even people who are doing 9 to 5 at the end of before the first of March, you have to like file. The new tax law actually requires you to file like what do they call it, self-assessment something with the LIRS, and to actually show that it's not like you assessing yourself, saying, this was my earnings, this was my tax paying history and all that, something like that. So for small, medium orders, for the digital, and I think that one of the requirements of the new tax law is that most of these crypto wallets should actually be linked to your NIN, and then your NIN has been automatically linked to your tax ID. So I don't think anybody is going to be running away from paying tax, unless maybe you are not, how do I put it, unless you are not, remember Taiwo was explaining the whole tax thing sometime last year, and he said something that they are not looking for those small money. It's not like they are not seeing you and all, but what they are interested in is the big guys who are declaring 5 billion naira in a year, and then they are not paying tax. So I think that one of the requirements of the new tax law is that most of these crypto wallets should actually be linked to your NIN, not like your capital, 100,000 naira below. You are not subject to tax. But that does not mean that you are not supposed to bring, let me just call it, bring a proof of this is what you earned throughout this year, and it is below 800,000 naira. So as a citizen, as a law-abiding citizen of the country, what you should do, whatever you are doing, regardless of what you are doing, at the end of this year or before 31st of March next year, you should walk into, let's say you are in Ebonyi, you are in Enugu, you should walk into, I think it should be called Ebonyi State Internal IRS, it is called LIRS, EB, I think EBIRS, something like that. You should walk into the tax office in Lagos, in Ebonyi or wherever it is that you are, and then you file what do they call it, a self-assessment something. They basically they know what they are going to do for you there and stuff like that. You tell them this is how much I earned, I did not reach the tax bracket and all that. But then now the thing is, if you are, should I say, unlucky, because with what LIRS, Lagos State internally generated revenue, um, um, released this morning, I be this evening, that has been causing problems on the timeline. They said something which is actually the provision of the Tax Act, that if you refuse to file your self-assessment, your self-assessment like your you to file that your tax self-assessment stuff about tax and all that, if you refuse to file it, that it is within their rights as tax collectors to take your bank, or to deduct, to ask your bank to pay it on your behalf, to ask, maybe you are a landlord, maybe your landlord has not paid tax, you as a tenant, they will tell the tenant, oh yeah, the money you are owing your landlord, pay. And then something, they just give like four other examples. So what Taiwo said last year about that the tax master does not have the right to deduct money from your bank accounts is not what LIRS is saying. At the end of it all, you are supposed to go to there is this body that was created to solve dispute between taxpayers and tax collectors, basically, you know. So you are supposed to go there and fight for this. But then what they are saying as of today, as of the latest memo for LIRS, is that the tax master has the right to deduct money from your bank account without, that's if you default in paying. So to answer your question straight away, people who are doing crypto, people who are doing SME, people who are not in a formal or straight structured system where maybe their HRs, their employers are the ones deducting the tax. You are supposed to file. It's a self-assessment stuff. You are supposed to file. You are supposed to file a self-assessment. Well, I don't know what to call self-assessment tax. You are the one that will assess yourself by yourself. So now there are penalties. Let's say you earned 1.5 million naira in a year, and you now come out to say you are now going to tell the tax master that I earned 800,000 or I earned 1.2 or something. You under assessed yourself intentionally. No, if they find out, their penalty for that, they are going to, I think the penalty is from the new tax entity NTA. The penalty is that you are going to pay 50,000 naira fine, and then 10% for each month that the what do they call it, the default, I be your, each month that you defaulted with the whole on assessing yourself and all that. So like, is something that the law lets you do, assess yourself. I'll go to your, I think they can do it online. That's what I'm not sure, but most of the time, the best one is basically to just go to the tax office in your state and not, because it's still the state that collects your personal income stuff in our state. State basically are the ones that are in charge of that. So you have, the best one is for you to go to your state and file your self-assessment stuff, even if you did not reach the tax threshold. So, but then once you, if you don't do that, it is still a crime. So that's why people, I'm saying, the truth is that a lot of people are not going to do it. And I do not even think that the tax master, in fact, in the whole world, there is no tax, how do I put it? There is no tax master that has the capability of 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 taxing every single person in the country. It's not possible, not even with the new tax act of 2026. And no, nobody, no government in this world has the capability of taxing every single person who is who is eligible to pay tax or who is earning money to pay tax in the country. It's not possible, even with the new tax act. So yes, the truth is that maybe a lot of people want to know, um, am I supposed to pay tax? If I don't pay tax, what will happen? Yeah, the truth is that a lot of people will still get away with it, with not paying tax, just like the last tax act and all. But the truth, another truth is that more people are going to start paying tax more than it usually is. So that's just the honest truth. So now another thing is that people need to understand tax what tax avoidance is and tax evasion is. You not paying your tax is you basically evading tax, which is a crime. I don't know whether I'm talking too much once it comes to the whole stuff, but then tax avoidance and tax evasion is two different things. If you do not pay your tax, if you do not file for your self-assessment stuff, you are evading tax and it's a crime. So for people who are aware, like I said earlier, one of the importance of actually paying the tax is that it will now be required in a lot of stuff right now. It's going to be required. You are going to open a corporate account in bank. They will ask for your tax ID now. You are going to most likely in every part of any serious thing that is going on that you are applying for in this country right now, if they don't ask for your tax ID, the usual one they will ask for your NIN, and your NIN is linked to your tax ID. So if the tax masters, if the revenue board, people who tax you, are very serious and say, let's check what this guy is earning. Your NIN is already linked to your BVN. Your NIN is now linked to your tax ID. They go feed know what you they earn. And now they can, like they said, they have the power to deduct money from your bank account or whatever. Once they deduct, they fit go deduct pass waiting you sef dey earn and all that. And then like about digital assets, whether you drop it on crypto now, the two there's something about, I don't know whether any of you here is familiar with SCUMOL, what do they call it? Special Control Against Money Laundering. It's just an EFCC EFCC agency that it's a certificate that EFCC gives for some special kind of business. Why I mention it is that they're asking for tax ID for whatever it is if you need that certificate and all. So like it's a requirement for any digital asset stuff, any digital your crypto, whatever, they are supposed to upgrade their system for you to actually for them to ask for your tax ID, because if they no fit carry your money for your bank, they fit even Binance, is it still working in this country fully like it used to? The government has the power to stop any crypto platform that is not collecting collecting the requirement that they ask them to collect. That is the truth of the matter, because the truth is that if government said Binance, Bybit, what all those crypto trust, all of them that they're supposed to ask for your tax ID and they do not do it. Tomorrow now, when I go see that they don't carry another, maybe they arrested one Binance guy last 2 years, I mean last year, and it was trending and all that. At the end of it all, nothing still happen. Government is government. And also to avoid everything, I feel like in as much as the country, this country, they don't even watch the whole stress. They are not worth all this stuff. But you earn this so amount of money, you just what everybody should do is just that you should just basically make sure you keep a proper record of what you are earning. proper record of what you are earning because
Equation, no, but you just talked about it in a wholesome manner. You get, like, you,
mm,
you just use this question to eliminate a whole lot of other questions, and that's actually
mm.
nice. So we just
So
like
should I
move
continue?
faster. Yeah, you can just continue.
Okay, so people don't know that there are a lot of reliefs like under the tax act. They don't just know about it. Like now, let me give you an example. Like in our office now, when we resumed in January, they told us, if you are paying rent, you should bring your evidence of paying your rent, something like that. Your evidence of payment. Now, your rent is basically a relief that you can enjoy under the new tax act. What do I mean? Like you are supposed to pay. Let's say you fall under from the 800 million naira and above. The first people that will pay, I think 15%. I know, and then you are paying rent for yourself. The new tax act say person wey dey pay rent, make I even speak am for pidgin, person wey dey pay rent, so okay we go comot dat your rent money for you now, put am, so we no go tax dat rent money, but now it will not go beyond 500,000 naira. Do you understand? Like like you even if you pay 2 million naira for rent or something, and then they say, oh yeah, you are supposed to pay so amount of rent because you fell into the first set of people, or even the second set of people who are supposed to, because the tax act is broken by 0%, 15%, 15%, I think 20, I'll be 18 to 20%, and then 25% and 30% or something like that. So now you are paying rent, you pay 2 million naira, your rent is 2 billion naira and all. So now we are going to understand that you pay rent, but we are going to remove 500,000 naira for you because from your rent money and drop it once. We're not going to drop that tax that 500 naira, 500,000 naira. I know. So we are going to tax the other ones. So it's a relief that you can enjoy. So in our office, they ask us to bring evidence of our rent payments. You bring another relief is your insurance. If you are paying for insurance, any kind of insurance, life insurance, car insurance, any insurance at all falls under relief that you can enjoy. So let's say one person, let's say like me now, I am I claim the relief, the tax relief stuff under rent relief, and now I claimed the insurance relief stuff, and I still claim the pension. There's a pension relief. There's something they call pension. People who, if you're a corporate worker, you are supposed to be contributing to pension every year. Pension is like once you retire, once you like finish your once you are retiring, the money you've been contributing to your pension all through your years of active work and all, they will gather it for you and give you. So that money you are contributing to pension is not taxable. So that is another relief that you can enjoy under the tax. So there are a lot of reliefs that people don't even know. So at the end of it all, person whether they pay 70,000 or 80,000 naira under the old tax law, and now it came under this new tax law and all, and they remove all this relief, you will see yourself actually paying something like 20, 30K and all, because those relief are something you can claim. You bring your rent receipt, you do all those stuff. So that is just stuff. So now, even as somebody in the informal sector, you put together all your earnings for the year. I want to go and file your assessment stuff in the tax office, basically. You go still carry your receipt, your rent receipt. That's if you are actually paying rent. Person wey dey live for your papa house, they know they are dey pay rent. Unless say your papa give you receipt, you fit use am see maneuver say, my papa, I dey pay rent to my papa and all that. So all these things, you go carry all those stuff go tax office say, see my rent for the year. See, let's say you are paying insurance. At the end of it all, you will be paying less. Than the fact is that people who are medium income earners, who are just in the first level, in fact, people who don't have money, as long as you are not earning 25 million naira in a year, I know you are going to be paying less tax than it used to be. I know, and that's a fact. But then, wetin dey happen throughout last year in the whole country, they go say Tinubu go collect your 20,000 naira, abi 20% and all that. So, like this is like part of the things. So whatever you are doing, just keep proper record. Let's say I've advised my friends who are business owners. I've not even mentioned about the small companies. I've advised my friends who are business owners and all. Just make sure that what you profit from your business is actually what you are saying, like your profit basically. Because you carry money, go collect way bill. All those stuff are things that you should write down as those are not profits. Your profit are the profit wey be say you don't bring back those profits. That profit is just what's there for you basically for you to spend after you've done all the expenses relating to the business, and this is what is remaining. This is what is remaining after you paid everybody, you've settled your workers, you've settled dispatch riders, you settled all those ones where you use pay dispatch riders, where you use those are not profit and all. Then you put it down. The time that you want to go and file your assessment, you go say this is what I profited from in January 2026. February, you do it like that. All this thing no hard. If na no fit do am on ourselves, na go contact professional wey fit do am. Accountants, dey find work and all that. So, like I said, the country is not deserving of us actually doing all this whole stuff. But then, I would still advise you because this is a public thing. You are a law-abiding citizen, so do what the law says by filing your assessment. So that's it for this part. Because I know that I've over talked a whole lot when it comes to here. So,
Yeah. Thank you very much, Obum. You've really spoken at length and you've helped me to cover a whole lot of things because we had concerns, firstly, about the whole. Some people said that the NIN and the tax ID are the same thing, that your NIN is just a tax ID, but you've tried to clarify us now that you have to input your NIN into the IRS site at what that they created so that it gives you your tax ID. So you're telling the people now that your tax ID is actually different from your NIN as opposed to what is trending because people are just saying your NIN
yes,
is now your tax
yes.
ID and all.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. For personal, for individuals, you use your NIN to generate the tax ID. For companies, you use your RC number. Once you register a company, there's always a reference number. If it's a business name, your BN number, you put it there, it generates your tax ID for you. If it's a company, your RC number, it generates your company number basically. It generates the tax ID for you. So basically that's your NIN is not a tax ID, but it's linked to your tax ID. I know. So that's just what it is. If you do
Right, all right. Thanks for that clarification. Yeah, you've talked about these things in general, like most of the questions you've taken them out already. So let's do a quick one so that we can be able to close because we've talked at length. So let me paint this scenario now. For somebody like you now, because we know that aside from being a lawyer, you run several side hustles like selling things. You have a design company, a printing press, stuff like that. So for somebody who has, would I say, different sources of income and streams of income, how do they get to, will I say, incorporate these things into one entity and get it taxed as a particular business, or do they get to get taxed individually on those businesses salaries and different things like separately? And also, okay, let's take that first, then we'll take the last question, please. Let's take that first. Thank you.
okay, actually, very nice question. I wanted to say it the last time I was speaking, but I didn't. It skipped my mind. Truth is, they've not even harmonized their system yet to actually accommodate taxing people. So 2026 is not even looking like it's not going to be the year where you are going to be fully taxed. 2026 is for them to actually harmonize everything, get their systems ready. Because 2027 is the year for them to collect the tax for 2026. Do you understand? So like I told you guys now, like the deadline for you to file your tax assessment return for 2026 is March 31st, 2027. That's the deadline for personal income tax. I know. So like now there is still a whole lot of problem. The OTIN, the new tax ID, your NIN, a lot of things. Their systems is still confused about the how to actually identify it as well, because now CAC usually, once you register a business in CAC usually issue you a TIN. Is that TIN now, you will now carry that TIN now to tax office. They will now validate it, because CAC does not have the power to give TIN. Now they are giving you. Now you now carry it to FIRS. Now NRS, usually Federal Inland Revenue Service, now it's Nigerian Revenue Service. They will not validate it. But now, with the new tax ID, the old one was TIN, now it's tax ID now. So that one that CAC was giving before, and the one that they stopped giving in a while between November to January, and now they've started again giving tax ID. This tax ID is not yet working in the system. Yes, this tax ID is supposed to cover everything. Like now, as I'm doing corporate work now, I know, and I'm still doing some other things. It's still the same tax ID that I'm supposed to be using for both of them. I know, but then it is not, they have not started validating the tax ID yet. Because now somebody wants, I registered the business for somebody about 2 weeks ago. The person went to bank to create a corporate account. He gave them the new tax ID. Bank said he needs to validate it first. I contacted people in FIRS, in NRS basically, and they said they've not started validating that one yet. I know. So if you see it, Nigerians are always, Nigeria basically, we are always quick to make we rush go do law. I be bring out a new law and all. But then compliance actually doing what we said we are going to do is now the problem. So till now, basically, what I am supposed to be doing is that, as my employers already pay my tax for my salary, every other thing I am doing, it is during that self-assessment return, because whether or not your employers are paying your salary and all that, whether or not your employers are paying your salary after the whole year, you yourself as a salary earner, you are supposed to still file your self-assessment return with the NRS and all, abi whichever state you are working at and all. So it's during that time that I'm supposed to basically, like me as someone who is still earning from other sources of income apart from my salary, I'm supposed to like still say, see, me sef, I see small money from all these other places and all that. But then another thing I needed to mention is that before the whole stuff, some of us who are CAC accredited agents that register businesses for people, one thing is that if you run, let's say I have a company that I run and I manage, my company tax will be filed differently, because I think some of you here are law students and all. So basically, you know that a company is different from the person, from the directors, basically. Let me not say from the person running it. From the director, a company is different from the person running it. So me, as an individual who is working under a corporate environment, my employers are paying my tax. And no, my company, any money what I make through that my company, basically, that company, me self, I suppose like pay the tax of the company, because it's not me, no be me again. Now that company gas basically pay in tax. I know. So and you people know that the company that's in the new tax law, a company that does not make a profit to make a profit of 100 million naira, there is basically a an altercation between whether it's 50 million or 100 million. But with the new gazette, I be new regazetted. Now say this country, a lot of things is wrong with this country. Maybe say governor go, I be president will sign tax. President will sign tax, and then I be asked, and then we will now see House of Assembly will now say, this is not what we sent to president to, and I'm like, it's crazy. So, but that is not what they are talking about now. So, but with the new regazetted act, it's 100 million. So, a company that is not earning up to 100 million naira, I mean, that did not earn up to 100 million naira a year, is classified as a small company. So everything I dey see with my company where I go earn up to 100 million. I know. So now, so a small company basically is not supposed to, is tax exempt. Do you understand? So now what I am going to go and tell the tax boards, the revenue board basically, is that I'm filing assessment for my company. I will tell them, see, oh, I no reach 100 million, oh, so make una see am, see my account, and all that. Basically, show them my books for my company. So to answer your question, me in my corporate work different. My company, because it's not a business name. If it's a business name, I don't know whether everybody here is a lawyer. Basically, you know the difference between a business name and a company. If it's a business name, any money, if I'm running my business as a business name, the difference between a company and a business name, you know that basically company is different from the owner. Business name, they will classify your earnings under a business name with your own personal earnings. So that was what we were advising some people that time. If you want to register business name, I advise you to register a company, because for personal income tax, the threshold is 800,000 naira. If you earn up to more than 800,000, you're eligible for tax. If you don't earn up to 800,000 naira, you are tax exempt. So imagine I am running my company as a business name, and they are going to classify whatever it is, the business name and my personal income. Obviously, I will earn up to 800,000 naira in a year. So it's always better. It's better for you to like divide what you yourself are earning personally with what your company is earning personally, different. So that's why we advise people to register as a company, because company is different. So you, your personal self, before you will be eligible to pay tax, you have to earn more than 800,000 naira. For your company, before they will be eligible to pay tax, they'll have to earn up to 100 million. So you yourself, probably you feel earn up to 800,000 naira in a year. Your company, most likely, obviously, unless say they run, you are actually doing business, you will not end up to 100 million naira as profit too, not like money that will enter your account as profit in a year. Do you get? So now you have separated the money that you are making for your personal self and the money that your company is making, and no, into two different places. Because if you can't join them together, they will say, oh, but this boy they see money, they fit even classify you as people will go where their personal income tax dey for 20 million naira a year, and you will pay 30%, like abi 30% or something. So it's always different. So my company, it's is what I am doing outside my corporate work is a company. I'm running a company outside my corporate work. So it's a different thing. So my company, most likely, by God's grace, it's not like I'm praying that prayer for myself. By God's grace, I will be able to make 100 million naira in a year, and I will file my company returns. But for my personal income, and they do that one different. So I hope I answered your question on that.
Yeah, yeah, thank you very much. I really answered the question at length. Yeah, your answer has helped to clarify us, because lots of questions were being asked by how they want to take the differentiate, the one will be my guiding money people they do me, and the one will be actual earnings and all and all. So your answer that you said that everything is still being set up, you get. So with
If
time
if
everything.
sorry, if somebody dash you money, I know that one. Gifts is not subject to tax under the new tax law. Person will give you money, dash you money. That's why, like I say, keeping proper record and not in as much as we giving those descriptions, we not say all those ones where they use catch cruise that time and all. But person, if person your papa gift you this thing, I know how they, it's not subject to that. Person will dash you. No, it's not an income. I know somebody gifted you. A gift is not subject to tax at all. So all those ones, I be guiding money. All those, as long as say no wetin you work, no wetin you earn as payment for service. I know. So, but then that's why we Nigerians, as honest as we are, as honest people that we are supposed to be telling the tax people this is this money. Like, basically, this money was not a gift. I know this one is for earning. This one, my papa just, guy just dash me all those ones and all that. So, but then every other thing falls under keeping proper records of your money and keeping track of everything, because for this kind of country now, no be one source of income. Everybody they use this. Everybody they do a lot of things. A lot of people. But like I said, just remember, like I said, no tax master, be no tax revenue has the capacity of taxing every single person in this. Not even the US can do that. No, everybody, not even the US. But then, as a law-abiding citizen, you are obligated to, and if you don't do it, you are basically committing a crime, which is tax evasion. Tax avoidance is different from tax evasion. I did not explain. I don't know whether I explained tax avoidance. Tax avoidance is basically when you are now hanging on to all those reliefs that I mentioned, saying, okay, let me separate my personal money from my company money, and if my company money does not reach 100 million, I will not pay tax. Let me carry my rents relief. Let me hang on to rent relief, insurance, all those ones. If you are using the law basically to protect yourself from paying tax. Those ones are tax avoidance. But then tax evasion, I say you yourself, they say, I no go pay you, I no go even file, or I will underreport what I am earning. I know those ones is evasion and it's a crime, it's an offense, up to 3 years and a lot of other penalties under the new tax law. So that's it for that.
All right, bro. You have said it all. You have said it all. You've talked about how people can be able to evade being taxed unfairly, and how people can actually get to tax themselves fairly and contribute to the society. There's something that actually lingers because it all boils down to we having to file ourselves our returns for the year personally. So it now means that every single person and every individual would need to have a financial audit of their earnings and of the whole finance for the year to be able to submit before the next year's March. This is for me personally. This is just the last question I need us to tackle. Then we can be able to close. Considering the literacy level of an average Nigerian, how easy do you think this would be, being able to let's say that person that is just selling one or two clothes online, we even can barely even speak correct English, can barely even understand calculations in an in-depth way of being able to actually create a financial report of what's happened in the year. How do you think we can be able to cope with this self-report, with be able to draft a perfect self-report that we need to tender when the year runs down, considering the literacy level in the Nigeria at the moment?
Well, first of all, that is why it's always important to keep professionals by your side, especially if you are earning money, if you are doing business in this country, anywhere in the world, say, and then you are earning money, big money, noticeable money. Whether you can speak English or you cannot do anything, just keep people like you cannot tell me. I'm not saying that with this if it's a stretch and all, but any average, let's say on each a businessman, most of them. I'm not like it's not like a bias or something, but most of them do not go through formal education. These guys can barely even speak correct English and all that, but they are seeing big money. So people like that are supposed to have lawyer. Basically, you already see big money. You're supposed to have lawyer by your side. You're supposed to have an accountant and all. People that you can always call and say CEO or something, help you draw. Yeah, don't be everybody if you do, even myself. Well, I don't be an accountant won't be that for me today. If like I'm running business in a big way. There are people who actually is their job, auditors, accountants, it's their job to actually track all these things for you. There was a time years back, 2018, I think 2017 or 2018, where Innocent sued GT Bank. GT Bank debited over 700 something million naira from his account or something like that, and he called it something tax or something like that. I know, but then I don't know the fact of the case now, but as of then, what I remember was that it sued them, and it found out that GT Bank just randomly, all those 50 naira that they use to cover, if they want to come out for your own, they go maybe times are by two or something, or by three or something. At the end of it, all, it found out that they inflated the price. But the people who were able to track those stuff was his accountants. And no, yes, like I said again, I'm repeating, no tax master in the world has the capacity to tax everybody. That is the truth of the matter. And even Taiwo himself, who is the chairman of the presidential tax, fiscal tax policy, he said it too. That what the government is after is actually the big earners in the country because a lot of them do not pay tax. But again, I was still like advice, if you have, how do I put it, if you have the ambition of where you dey no be where you wan dey, you have to do a lot of things for yourself. You want to move forward beyond in the country, because not even just Nigeria, there are things that you want to do outside the country, and then you have to provide an evidence of you actually paying tax in where you are staying, because tax is not just a Nigerian thing. I know. So the people who are, let's say, all those old women in the market and all those ones, nobody really send them as a be. Nobody, I swear, nobody really send them, and not even Tinubu himself can. Nobody fit even go dey tax all those people. The only thing at most that will be happening is just what has always been happening. Maybe those agbero go come just waka reach their shop. Mama, I go carry your bag, because agbero is already institutionalized in this country. Mama, I go carry your bag. No need for so you guys pay, you guys call, they go collect 20K, collect 10K from them, all those ones, give them one receipt or something. Those ones, e go dey happen for markets. All those union people, you go see dey happen. So nobody really send those ones. But then, like I said again, these people have access to your bank. That is just the fact of it. They have access to your NIN. And if maybe they just say, I money no today, that go tell them their time never reach for them to pay tax. Make we just go find small people. They can't go see person we don't run account of over 100 million naira in they just come the boom, you go just see debit alert of, because it's the truth. As much as how they want to, however it is that they want to paint it, I know these people, they don't want to expressly tell you that that's what the provision of the tax act provides, that the tax master has the capacity to go after your money, or whoever is holding your money, and LIRS just confirmed it today. So today, I mean tomorrow, they fit just say, this person now don't run. Let's see the account. I don't know whether bank they get all those spreadsheets of, let's say, I beg do am ascending order. People we don't see 100 million downwards. We just say, who be this woman? I beg they beat this one. And once you don't see that money debited from your account, I know you yourself, nobody go ask you, make you go shout now. You go down there, you go find tax people go, you go do this one, you go all those stuff. You go find tax people go, you go say, no, from there they will start they do counterbalance. Oh yeah, now how you take see the money and all that from all the, but the truth is that everybody would not be able to do it. But as somebody who aims to go forward in the country, basically in Abi, move beyond where you are, and you are running a business and you are earning an income, I know you should, you are anybody will go school, you should be able to just basically walk into, make it be say you don't go there, they not tell you. But I think there is a an online way of doing it. That's what I have to confirm and know of doing that and all that. But then you should be able to just do the basic. Make it be say they do am. Yeah, if I say, oh, I don't make money this year, oh, just they do am. It's just a basic thing that anybody can should be doing. I know. But for people who are in the market, honestly, I don't think anybody go worry. No be time will go carry himself come Abakaliki market or Ndi Obinago market for inside Enugu. Go they say, Mama, you never pay tax. So all those, so nobody really send those people. Now big earners. And the truth is that a lot of Nigerians are seeing profit of Taiwo even said it in one of the interview. So, oh, I did not, you said you did not make money. You said you did not make money in the year, but you bought a new car. You bought a this that same year. All those stuff. And then Shegun that was interviewing him said it could be a gift. He said, oh yeah, now come and explain that it was a gift. So all those stuff now make him be say na person dey catch the thief basically sha, na person dey catch the, but then make him be say they no just, you, in fact just avoid all those stuff. Somebody who is a responsible citizen, just to avoid all those stuff, just file your returns, file your self-assessment stuff and all. If you cannot do it, if you consider yourself an illiterate enough and you are not making money, nobody really, and you don't already use yourself say you, me, I be illiterate, I know they make money, I just dey farm my farm, dey chop food, dey go. Nobody send you now, and I just day your day. But for somebody who has an account, who in fact who is an adult, who has an NIN, and you are running a business, like why I use those on it a businessmen, because I know the money where they come through there. That's why I use them. I know money where they come on it. On it, main market is like the biggest market in West Africa, and then there's a lot of money coming through there, and a lot of them are not did not go through formal education. Most of them, if you fall, and the truth is that those people don't even have a problem with actually paying tax. So they don't get problem, because what happened last year? What happened last year when NAFDAC went to their shops and and locks a lot of shops for say accusing them of selling fake drug and all. And then I ask them to pay 700K. A lot of them were paying that 700K like saying our water. They get the money to pay. The only thing is that they do not know how to pay. But then it's a business of Anambra State internally generated revenue to actually go after them. And the truth is that they go. So say maybe they get lower women wey dey sell tomato for market wey nobody dey sell. You see those ones wey dey actually see that money, dey pay tax. I swear to God, they pay tax. Go ask anybody wey you know say go this day. Anambra State go. And even now I dey even think am well. I know. So Anambra State government wey they pay all those they get union wey the only thing is that now it might be a little bit more formal, but now you have to pay your tax. You go ask them, you go see they go bring out the receipt. Anambra State internally generated revenue board. Bro, they go get most of them have those receipts and they have been paying their tax. I know. So people who are very low income earners, nobody send them. If you like file, if you like no file, nobody if you even get capacity to go they file. Why you no file your receipt? No, but if you're an average person, you know what you're supposed to do. You are seeing the money. Whether you don't know what you're supposed to do, somehow it will find you. It will find you come. I've seen a lot of people who come to the where they come X or social media say social money just disappear from their account. Then they call out bank and all. That is what will happen in 2027. It's going to happen once people no do because by April to August nobody going to talk about tax ad again because like I say this year is just for harmonizing everything together. It's just for harmonizing everything from 2027. That is when they will start the enforcement fully. So when Tinubu go dey say vote, you go don see money disappear from your account first. You no go dey even concern who won the contest for president or whatever. You go just dey call out Access Bank or Zenith Bank and all. Na wetin you go just focus on. So that is what basically is going to be happening. Most that's my own prediction. What is going to be happening by then? People will actually see the money will just disappear because you did not file for your returns, and then the tax master they come after you. I know. Unprovoked. And then you yourself, you go just basically they cry for Twitter. Tinubu will later win, which is going to win, sha. So that's basically it because I get where I supposed to be by 8 p.m. I told co-host. So I hope that I've tried my best. I don't be expert on tax. There are a lot of people who have said a lot of things once it comes to this tax matter is all over X. So just what I will advise everybody basically is basically to know who you are listening to. I feel like anybody who passed through the university system basically should be able to discern without sentiments. A lot of people will just come. They want to collect money from you. They want to do this one from you. Everybody will just basically jump on it and start fighting. Yes, a lot of us don't like Tinubu, but it doesn't mean that anything will come out from the government na bad thing. To me, this new tax ad is way better than the last one. A lot of people are suffering under the last one. I know. And most specifically, those people where they suffer are people where they actually pay up, the corporate workers. I know. Person fee they earn up to 300,000. They collect 76,000 every month from in account. I know. But no, what did he go do? But in paper, he's earning 350,000, but he's paying tax. I know. So, but people don't understand that this is the only people that are going to be paying higher tax in these other days are people that are earning big people. I know. And those people say they don't even come to that come make noise. Now even the ones, just like Taiwo said, now even the ones where body don't do their account and then full Twitter, they go they say we don't go agree. It's a sham and all that. Yes, there's a lot of controversies. Yes, true. There's a lot of controversies under the tax. In fact, like I said, the whole say waiting they pass, not be waiting presidents. I be waiting presidents side, not be waiting they pass for is something that everybody should be worried about. But as lawyers, as whoever is not inclined, you should be able to comment on that without denying the fact that once president don't gazette on an act of the National Assembly, whether it's once president has gazetted on something and it was passed, it's already law. That is the truth of the matter. The process which it came through to reach president's table to gazette is not what you should be asking. You can comment on it as per person, someone that is enlightened on the societal views or whatever, but then it's already in force. You cannot deny that. So that one that president gazetted, now waiting you as lawyer go dey look say okay president this one they don't gazette this one you is a law basically, unless the National Assembly has to go through that process again and pass another thing and all because before a law is passed it has to go through National Assembly and all. But we make we not just dey use sentiments do a lot of things that we do in this country and all that. Tinubu administration has passed a lot of great laws actually, from the ISA 2025 to the Insurance Act to even this Tax Act and all. And there's a lot of act that he has passed and all. But it's not like he's the best president. A lot of things that they are passing, on my own view, is just addressing things at the higher level. The problems of the surface level is not, they know the wetin person wey dey for inside Maiduguri wey kidnappers carry and all. Person wan travel from Enugu to Abuja, they carry am for road. What are you doing about all those stuff? So like basically that is my issues with this government. They are nonchalant about what the ordinary Nigerians are going through. You want to fix the country to be like Dubai, to be like, you want to tax people. Make I not talk am like this before people go think say I dey criticize the tax act. But then we want us to have a good tax structure which is cool and all. But then still, who are the people that are going to tax? If they kidnap all of us, carry us go bush, how are we going to actually pay the tax? Do you get? So my major problem that the government is supposed to be fixated on is first sense make people wey dey for village fit enter their farm, go farm, come back, dey chop their food and all. Let everybody be, they make I fit travel from Lagos to Abuja by road and then nobody will carry me and enter bush and all that. So but then the government is so focused on propaganda. If they just talk one thing now, they don't pay influencers, carry influencers come out so that make they come chop rice and all, and then they will come to the TL and be talking about how they eat rice and that sort of. So but basically if it's about the law, it's not perfect, will not be anything. Even KPMG, big four corporation, big four consulting firm in the country, even criticize it and all that. So, but then in the whole world, KPMG is like a top consulting firm. They criticize it, but still, it doesn't mean that it's here to harm. It's better than the old one. So that's my closing remark. Like one of the guys where I supposed to get meeting with was on this stuff and he just left. So thank you very much for having me. That is like basically my own 2 cents. So on this,
Thank,
thank you.
thank you very much, Obum. Thank you very much. This has been a unwholesome hour. It has been a wholesome hour. We thank you very much for sharing your ideas with us. We cannot say that we have not been oriented listening to you. Well, maybe as a quick one, what do you have to say and let us know and close this.